You want to take my spot or?
What's that?
You want my spot?
No, I don't have enough chins.
Right.
Matt's saying something as well, don't forget.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen Jet in chat.
Yeah.
He was talking with Byron. He's like, what are you on about, Byron?
There's very much a lot of drive to try get the best out of yourself and your teammates. I absolutely found the community here. All these guys are very welcoming. It's just wonderful to be part of a team.
We strive for the passion in everything we do. Some would say we're over-passionate, and we do cause a bit of drama on the sideline when we get that way. But yeah, it's great.
Well, good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to Nissan Arena. After 3 days of football here in the Asia Pacific Oceania Cup, it all comes down to this, the grand final. And it is the two teams that have been the top two teams of this tournament that are here for the playoff for the trophy. Host nation and defending champs Australia. And of course, Japan. These two teams have played out 2-0 draws over the past 2 days, and whilst the scoreline may sound like there hasn't been much action in those games, I can assure you they have been the most exciting football I think we've seen in a long time. My name is Tom Byrne. I am joined on my right by Jackson Taylor, and on my left, Matthew Mallows. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good to see chat being quite lively before the game.
I want to give a special shout out to John Boulding, all the important work that you've done for England over the years. It's an absolute pleasure to know that you're here watching the Australian and the Japanese teams facing off here. But lads, it's come a long way. This tournament's been a very long one for us up here and the players down there as well. And it all comes down to this. Do we have any predictions for what this match might look like?
Please don't go to penalties. Please don't go to penalties.
I've got a sneaking suspicion that it might.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Matthew. I think this one has penalties written all over it. There's been no way to split these two teams so far this week.
Wow.
It has been just phenomenal. Japan yet to concede. Australia only conceding the one, I believe. It has just been incredible football from these two teams. And we get to see it one last time, 40 minutes, maybe 50, maybe even the prospect of penalties.
Yeah. I must agree, there's a bit of a chat going on about introduction of VAR. Please, we don't need VAR. I think spending an extra 4 minutes to figure out.
I mean, we had the comment yesterday from Byron suggesting that if we had VAR in Power Chair football, we might have been there till midnight last night trying to sort out some of the action.
More often than not, the referees do get the decisions right on the field. We in the comms box obviously have the added benefit of being able to rewind the stream to see whether or not a decision was correct. But at the end of the day, you've got to respect the referee's decision on the field.
Now we are getting just about ready for the official walk onto the pitch, and when we do, we will throw it down to our courtside microphone. I believe there will be one for this match. We'll have the national anthems of Australia and Japan be played, and then the players will take to the court, and we'll be underway in just a few moments' time.
Greg, I really hope you're wrong in chat.
I
don't want to see bans, please.
Greg Baxter, for those who don't have the chat up, Greg Baxter, another part of the commentators club, suggesting we might have 50 minutes of the Australians attacking and the Japanese defending, but with no goals in it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand final of the APO Power Chair football here in Brisbane today. Those that can stand, please stand for the national anthem of Australia. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Japan. Thank you. And the players that we have, first of all, from Australia, number 2, Tristan Peters. Number 3, Rebecca Evans. Number 4, Santanu Bongiovanni. Number 5, Dimitri Lolo Davies. Number 9, Ryan Seth. Number 10, Jack Parry. Number 14, Chris Hasters. And number 23, Luke David. And from Japan we have number 7, Yuki Mikomi. Number 8, Midori Yukahashi. Number 11, Yakiro Yamada. Number 13, Kito Komiji. And number 17, Marie Nagoka. Number 21, Hirosagudi Ota. Apologies. And at 27, Kazuto Hiroshani. And number 73, Kenzu Ikada.
Just about to have the tossing of the coin. Two of the local Queensland juniors are on pitch for this very special moment. We really hope to see these two youngsters.
And your officials for today, in the centre we have from England Millie Bean, Assistant 1 and Assistant 2, both from Australia, Ellie Smithers and Sansia Simon Green. And your fourth official, also from Australia, is Rebecca David.
We really hope to see these two youngsters playing power chair football for many years to come. And
we're very lucky today. Please welcome two of our fairly new players to our sport. From Brisbane, we have Lincoln Ryan and Fred Watson, and they are carrying it. And they are carrying out the coin toss for our grand final. Thank you, Lincoln and Fred.
Thank you, Lincoln and Fred, indeed. And with the formalities out of the way, I believe we are just about ready to start this match. For Australia, the starting four: Ryan Seth in goals. Dimitri Lolo Davis will be the man on the right side. Rebecca Evans on the left. And Luke David at the rear. And for Japan, it's going to be Kazuki Ikeda at the back. On the right-hand side, Midori Uchihashi. And it should be Yuki Mikami in the goalkeeper strip in the middle. And then Hiritsugu Ota on the left. These two teams putting both forward their top four players. These are the A teams for these sides. And you have to think this is going to be the time that we see the best football of the week.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd is settling in nicely for this one. Both sets of supporters are going to be remarkably loud. We know what the Japanese can be like, and it goes without saying that we have a large Australian contingent here in the crowd.
I'm just seeing as well as the large Australian contingent in the YouTube chat, and we thank you very much for joining us on the official Fit for YouTube page. If you do have any questions, please let us know. We'll try and get to them. This match will, of course, be very exciting, so we may not get to all of them, but we do encourage conversation and questions. We really want to see everyone being a part of this match, and this one looks like it's going to be something special.
Yep, both teams in a bit of a huddle here, talking about something.
Well, have any of us played in a grand final? I played in a few
Yes.
state-level finals here in Queensland.
I did very well sitting on the bench for the Nationals final.
I actually played in my Nationals final that we won.
Oh, that's really nice. Good for you, buddy.
It was like 10 minutes, but it's 10 minutes more than you did.
With a combination of
And whilst we're on this topic, gentlemen, do you want to talk about some of the feelings that you might get in these moments just before kick-off in the grand final?
Can be a lot of nervousness.
I think Australia can do better. Come on, Australia.
We're just having a bit of hyping up in the crowd.
Come on, Japan, you can do better than that.
As you can see, both teams have got very, very large groups, very passionate.
Yeah. We want to hear you all during the match. Come on, let's encourage these players.
But yes, these moments can be very tense. Sometimes the anticipation is the hardest part ahead of these ones.
So we've got a couple of minutes here before we kick off.
Yeah, well,
I must say, supporter-wise, I don't think I've seen anyone beat the Danes.
yeah, shout out to any of the
Shout out
Danes.
to any Danes in chat.
You guys were fantastic at the 2023 Fit for Power Chair Football World Cup in Sydney, and I believe you guys were in full force again at the Fit Nations Cup earlier this year. So it feels like a real football atmosphere when the Danish are in town.
Yes, it does. They're also just really lovely.
That too. As are pretty much everyone I've met in power chair football. It's a very diverse community, but in the end of the day, we're all united around this beautiful game. And we see the Australian huddle starting to break. So we're getting close. The referees are moving into position.
I must say, I think there's even less pixels on that scoreboard than
Yeah,
the day's start.
That's referring to. We've got the scoreboards at the end of the pitch and also one directly above it. And I think that screen above us needs a bit more JP personally. We can go further.
I would personally recommend.
I want to see it go further.
I would recommend PNG. JPEG is not the best format, whereas PNG is lossless.
I think you're missing the joke there, Jackson.
Sorry, I do just.
Need to make it a GIF file.
Nonetheless, we're getting ready to go. Anthony McCarthy underway, and immediately that is a fast ball with Olio Davis and Ota. Now battling with Olio Davis picking the pocket, and he will run away down the right wing. And now battling with McCarthy, the two captains engaging early in the grand final.
Supporters getting nice and loud from both sides here.
And McCarthy shepherding the ball, and here comes Ryan Seth, and in the chat we can see the high Ryans, and Ryan's going to let out big hello from Anthony McCarthy on the back wheel, and that'll be a contact foul.
Yep, nice fast-paced start to this game. I think we're all expecting it with Yuka Makami starting for one of the first times this tournament with the armband on.
He'll be one of the freshest players on the field. He has been held back throughout this week, presumably in anticipation of this very match. Can he perform given he's not had the minutes of some of the other players on the field? There's now Ota running past the Olio Davis, and now Ryan Seth onto the ball. I think it's telling that of the Australian side there are 2 Melbourne City and 2 Newcastle Jets players. These players very experienced in finals situations at the national level. Can they convert that on the international stage? Ryan Seth does a little 180 as he battles with Ota, and Ota picks the pocket. Luke David, the last man for Australia. And that ball will roll away into touch, and Australia with a throw-in.
Just a little bit of tactics here. You can see number 8 for Japan. I believe that's Uchihashi is shepherding whichever winger for Australia does not have the ball at the far side.
Sorry to cut you off there. Beck Evans attempted to penetrate through the wall. Can't quite do it that time, but it will be a throw in. And the noise from the crowd, the loudest it's been all week. This one's got some feeling, as it should do for a grand final. Evans. David. Evans again. Finds a hole through, and Leolia Davis wasn't there.
You need to be making those runs. I mean, it was a lovely ball through.
And I think have Australia already wasted the best chance of the game. Japan aren't going to let you do that twice in a row. Uchihashi now upfield. Sek. Ota.
Advantage here being played.
Ryan Sek just shutting it down. We possibly had that advantage as it all now goes away for the throw. To have Australia, will they be ruining the fact that Dimitri Leolio Davis just wasn't running the post? David. Leolio Davis. David once more, diagonal the ball. Intercepted by Ota with a way for a throw-in.
Very, very fast-paced start to this game.
David. Evans. Can't find the hole that time. Now David in the centre. Battling with Ota. And this tussle, very steady. A little bit of work on the back wheel, and there's a whistle for it. It'll be a direct free kick to the Australians. This one wide of the box. Only about 8 metres from the net. And there's a 3-player conference around the ball at the moment. Try and work out what the plan is. It'll be the captain, Leolio Davis, who takes.
A lot of shouting coming on from the Australian bench here.
Davis goes first time, and Nakami clearing of the way. Ota once more, past Sek. Leolio Davis there in time. Now battling with Uchihashi.
Yeah, Australia need to be really careful when they get caught on those breaks. Playing that high line.
We've already seen them beaten once this week in the match against New Zealand. As Matthew Mallows attempts to battle a fly that's annoying him. I'll take over opportunities for a moment.
I'm being assaulted in the commentary box.
Maccabi.
Where did it go?
David. Leolio Davis. Evans in space. Takes a contact. Advantage being played. And it will be ran out as Kasuki Ikeda was the last player there. Evans flips away. David off of Uchihashi, and now a counter-attack opportunity. It slows right down as that opportunity just dies.
Yeah, you can tell this game is going to be end-to-end stuff as we see a bit of pressure put through Luke David's back wheel there, but play on.
David now top of the box, and McCarthy just shepherds that ball away. It's a brilliant ball. Ikeda looking for the back pass, finding McCartney. David though has got it, slowing it down. Back pass, Ryan Sek upfield. Ikeda there, Ryan Sek spinning, and he's going to go away. What's the decision? Australia ball. And just like that, we're 5 minutes in.
Yeah, it took a little bit of a touch there, but referee's giving a warning to Ichihashi here. Not quite sure what for. Probably contact.
Yeah, there was a bit of contact earlier in the play. We don't want to lose control of this match early in the final. We don't want any players feeling in the card trouble. David. Sek to McCartney. That's a dangerous way to do that. Don't let that happen again. Now McCartney. He's lost sight of it. It's going to roll away, and Australia will get the ball back. But risky business there. You never want to let McCartney have the ball in open play. He is dangerous on the spin.
It'll be interesting to see how long each team can keep up this intensity for.
Ota punching that ball clear, and it's going to be out for a throw-in very deep in Australian territory.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a play on that, because the last thing that Australia want after having some quality chances in the Japanese half is to get caught trying to play it out here. Because meanwhile, Japan will be looking to keep the ball down here as much as they can. Try and win a couple of set pieces, which they've been oh so deadly at throughout this tournament.
Evans there shutting down that lane brilliantly. Ota couldn't find McCartney, and now the two will tussle in the centre of the park. In fact, it's very slow, and now Evans drives it clear into the far side of the field. Back passing for David. Looking for Leolio Davis, but he's just not in great position. Uchihashi forward. Ryan Seth nearly losing control of that ball. And this is a big responsibility on Ryan's shoulders.
That is
to be
a lovely touch from
Well
Luke David.
done by Luke David there.
But yeah, a lot of responsibility on Ryan Seth in his first international tournament to beat the goalkeeper at such a young age. A lot of faith from the coaches, and certainly they'll be hoping that he repays the faith.
I think that faith is further shown, being one of the vice captains of Australia in this competition, which is, in my opinion, an amazing decision. I love Ryan in this team.
I believe he did wear the captain's armband throughout the week. I believe that makes him close to the youngest captain for Australia.
Quite possibly. So Leo Davis has to chase this ball, and there's a whistle for a 2-on-1. And Japan have got a big chance now. 12 and a half left in the first half of the final.
Yeah, Australia got a bit frazzled there with their defence. The intensity of the game, getting it to both teams a little bit here. Defence probably not as sharp for both teams, with a lot of attacking pace on the ball.
And this is the first time today that the Australian defence has been tested. Yuki Makari would know the power he possesses. Just dummying a couple times, now going for Uchihashi, and that's not the best of options. Makari goes second time, and Beck Evans shut him down. And now we'll enter the tussle. Makari in space. And Beck Evans just let that ball run through, and a 2-on-1 in favour of Australia.
Interesting. Not sure what Beck Evans was doing there. She almost turned away from the ball to let it go through to the far side of the field.
Perhaps she knew that there was a 2-on-1 there and wanted to let that whistle.
It's just a risky play, isn't it? On the chance that it doesn't get given.
It's a bit of an awkward spot here for the kick.
And Leolio Davis gets beaten by Ota, and now Ryan Sek has to make the stop.
He's out of the box. He needs to be careful.
He's in the box now. He's got half a reel in. And does keep that ball in play. Tucks it away. Leolio Davis comes in to save the day. Needs to avoid the 2-on-1 here.
Davis
Whistle in the mouth. Advantage. And there is the 2.
Yeah, Dimitri Leolio Davis just got drawn into the corner there with the 1-on-1. Luke David didn't quite move away from that near post as fast as he probably should have once he saw Dimitri coming.
It'll be Midori Uchihashi taking this time. And we hear the first time of the afternoon the cries of Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi.
We've seen it in the chat already.
It's first time in the venue though. And now that ball comes in, and that's a goal. It's not a goal, it's a 2-on-1 violation. It may as well have been a 3-on-1 violation. There were that many Japanese players in and around the box.
Let me have a look.
Yeah, there's no need to look, Matthew. It was pretty obvious. At least 2, probably 3.
And we talk about the idea of a warning shot. I think we've mentioned once or twice throughout this competition, boys, and I think that's the warning shot from Japan.
David upfield for Sek and then Evans. I think Matt Mallows has concluded his replay analysis. And
yeah, I'm not sure why Luke David has jumped off the post there. Just on the replay, it absolutely was a 2-on-1, by the way. Tom, well done in seeing that. I mean, it's fairly obvious on the replay.
And that ball does go out of play.
Luke David needs to be really careful there, jumping off of the post. Because
and immediately that warning shot has scared the Australian bench, and they're making the change. Luke David cutting off Santo Bongiovanni, his first action in the final, but Luke David having a purple shirt applied to him already. So that should mean that Ryan Sek will be coming off fairly soon. Leolio Davis swing with a miss.
I mean, I'm almost kind of wondering what number 21 for Japan there was actually doing inside of the box. I mean, it never looked like it was going to him, really, did it?
It's such a weird formation.
It was a really weird spot for him to be sitting. Because they were never going for that blockout play. It always looked like it was going to that far post. And they got the jump out of Luke David, which is definitely what they were looking for.
Just to jump in, we're seeing that substitution now. Ryan Sek off, Luke David on. But those formations that we just saw from Japan just then, that sort of play doesn't work anymore. The box is 6 metres long. It's 5 metres long. A 2-on-1 could be up to 6. anytime you have a ball at the top of the box like that, you're going to get 2-on-1, especially when there's another chair in the box as well. There's just 2-on-1s everywhere. You're never going to stalk on those. Uchihashi down the wing. Beck Evans upfield all the way to the byline, and that'll be a goal kick for Japan.
That's why we've got a little bit of a break in play here. As Ryan Sek came off the field, Cameron, one of the assistant coaches for Australia, was looking at the back of Ryan Sek's chair, particularly at the motors and fans at the back.
Oh.
Not sure if we have a bit of an overheating problem.
Mark Suffield is pulling the purple jersey. Certainly the seatbelt is off for Ryan, and the purple jersey coming off. There's an Australian green and gold underneath it. So this certainly was an idea they may have had. Evans goes long for Bongiovanni and can't get there in time. Now we've had a question in chat speaking of Santo. Now we're not 100% sure where the Bobcat name came from. We've had Bobblehead is certainly one of the nicknames.
Bobblehead is the one I'm going
by.
Bobblehead
is the nickname that we do have for Santo. I'm not sure about Bobcat. That one's come up from the YouTube chat this week. But I think at the end of the day, I don't think Santo will mind that. I think Bobcat's a nice enough nickname.
Yeah, just further comments on that change. It looks like, barring any technical problems, Luke David will most likely be the goalkeeper for the remainder of this match for Australia.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions yet, as David on the ball battling with Ota. But yes, it certainly looks like they decided to change their minds. David, Santo Bongiovanni, Elliot Davis puts it off it's cut off the defence. It needed to have more heat on it, but that's a big chance.
And a wonderful save by the Japanese.
David needs to shut this ball down. It does. It had a lot of curl on it, and a chance at both ends of the park in the space of 15 seconds. Ota, in fact, no, that's Akeda. Elliot Davis tucks it behind for the corner.
Was that a 3 in the box?
I think that was a 3 in the box.
I think Dimitri was slightly outside of the box. I'll let Matthew have a look at the replay in a moment. I think it was no 3.
Just touching on that chance from Australia, really they should be burying that. I mean, Dimitri Leolio-Davis had acres of room to...
Just jumping as well. Leolio-Davis is the one in. McCarthy's shooting, it's wide. But for the first time this week, Dimitri Leolio-Davis is the one defending the corner.
Yeah, just looking at the replay there, Dimitri Leolio-Davis's front guard did dip into the box slightly there.
I'd need to check I think it's about wheels rather than guard. I'd need to check the laws in the game.
Yes,
on that
I'm
one.
not sure because depends on what's... I believe for 3 in the boxes it is any part of the chair.
Okay, and if we have any people with the laws in the game on hand, I would very much appreciate if you guys could pass it up to us. Nonetheless, risky business now at both ends of the park. 5 minutes left in the first half.
Tell you what, this match has certainly been far more exciting than the 2 previous games these teams have played against each other in the group stages.
Now, Luke David needs a better goal kick option than that one. He just gave it straight to Makami. At least the ball will go away for a throw-in and give the Australia the chance to try something different. And we've had a confirmation from John Boland that he's indeed any part of the chair. Thank you for that, John. Makami battling with Leolio Davis. A little bit of a touch on the back wheel at both chairs. Play on. Touch of metal as well, and that's out for an Australian throw-in.
Makami, they're not particularly happy with the contact as the ball went out.
Evans. Bongiovanni goes direct, straight at Makami. Bongiovanni trying to keep that ball in.
Does so.
But the byline's going to beat him, and it's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, it is. I was right. It is any part of the chair. One would hope I would know that as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, to clarify as well, Matt Simpson, we have Matt's watching the match back on his iPad up here, so we don't have an official replay. We just have our own eyes of it up here. Leolio Davis battling with Uchihashi. 3.5, just over minutes left in the first half. And Leolio Davis has just got that ball on his back wheel, flicking away for David. Touched on for Evans. Wide ball, Bongiovanni spinning, shooting, and it was a great shot, just not enough heat to beat Makani. And it will roll away And we'll take a moment to thank Queensland Powerchair Football Association for all the incredible work they have done in hosting this tournament. Thanks as well Power Soccer Shop and All Sport Pitfers partners. Very much their contributions on and off the court, very much making this tournament possible. And hasn't it been a spectacle this week? As Evans down the wing for Bongiovanni. A bit slower and that's off the back of McCartney and a corner will come. And Bongiovanni this time. Rolio Davis on the far post. And first time, second time, and Bongiovanni's touched it. And we have a whistle. And we're getting a card here, possibly.
Just trying to figure out.
I think that Nakari has jumped early, and that's going to save the blush as a centre. Bongiovanni, who did not make contact with that ball, needs to be a lot more simple than what he was doing just then.
So we have Ryan Sipple entering the chat as well.
And collision between the teammates play on.
Bit of friendly fire, but you know, it's always a bit of entertainment, isn't it?
That it is, and yes, good evening, Ryan. Thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have other parts of the commentary crew from around the world in the broadcast chat. Bongiovanni goes direct and away for a corner.
Yeah, I don't think that now is the time for the Aussies to be playing around with that, the dummying on these set pieces, because as we saw there, I mean, they were saved by the fact that Mikami jumped, but they really just need to make sure that they're accurate with power.
Bongiovanni much more accurate. Davis is a goal. Is it in? What's the decision? Goal is crowded. Australia lead in the final, and you can see what it means to the bench.
Tell you what, Dimitri Leolia-Davis, he's had a couple of chances to bury one this match. Finally does so. Finally decided to put his striking boots on.
And that's it. Captain Fantastic sends Australia 1-0 up.
And that ball was bouncing around in the air. The decision was about, was it too high? And the referees have judged that it didn't go too high, and that has put Australia in front. Japan are on the back foot. That's their first time they've conceded all week. And now Mikami. Does he add to the intensity that we know he possesses to try and get a goal back? Battling with Evans. Now David on the ball. Mikami. Dummies once. Dummies twice. Third time's the charm, and it doesn't go anywhere successfully as it comes off Leolio Davis, and up out of the box he goes. Ota off the back wheel of Leolio Davis. Tries to cross, and that's a great intercept. And Bongiovanni getting physical with Uchihashi. Now Leolio Davis. And things slowing right down. Plenty of time still on the clock. Maybe not in this first half though, as we do approach the final whistle. Which there it is there. But Australia take the lead into the break.
And a lot of passion from that bench as we approach the half.
To half-time with Australia leading 1-0.
And, well, Matthew Jackson, if you're on the Japanese team, how did you salvage this final?
They need to start getting a bit more passing going in Australia's third. They've worried them when they've gotten some, prime sort of real estate, when they've started to really camp in Australia's half. We saw an early, it was ultimately disallowed for a 2-on-1, an early scare for the Aussies. So they really just need to get their passing going and generate a bit of pressure on the Aussies, because realistically early on here, the Australians have looked a little disconnected in defence. I think that's due mainly to the intensity that this match is being played at. Definitely the most intense game of the week, and unsurprisingly, it is the final.
Yeah, I just want to make a quick comment. We had a comment in the chat saying that the ball went over a guard. The guard is not the definition of how too high is. I believe it's mid-30 centimetres, somewhere around there. The usual guide is about where the red is on the post.
Yeah, it's where the red is marked on the post, which is higher than the guard.
Much higher than the guard. Jackson, any quick comments before we take a break?
I mean, I think it's been a really enjoyable first half of football. I think Japan, as you were saying before in the question you asked, we've seen a lot of halftime changes from them. I feel like almost every game has seen some substitutions from Japan, and I think if Japan are going to turn the tide, I think they may need to have a bit of a personnel change, just a different face or so, just to change it up. And that passing does need to improve for them if they are to, become the champions of this competition.
I mean, also just speaking on substitutions there, I think the decision to bring Santo Bongiovanni on for the Australians really ripped this game right open for them.
Oh, definitely.
He's been outstanding all tournament, and particularly his quality in the final third really showed there, especially on those set pieces. The accuracy and the power that he provides on those is outstanding, and you saw it. That ball went screaming across to Leolio Davis, who had a few set up for him earlier on by Santo Bongiovanni, but finally they got the breakthrough that they've been looking for all week against Japan.
Well, with those comments in mind, we will take a very quick break. We need to catch our breath after all that excitement. We will see you on the other side.
Oh, we're live. Hello. Welcome back to the Asia Pacific Oceania Championships between the final here between Australia and Japan. Kind of been thrown on the spot here as I was already talking.
Yeah, it's a bit harder
when
than
we went
looks.
live.
It's a bit harder than it looks, isn't it, Matthew?
Well, I had to cover for you early in the week.
Well, yes, true. Nonetheless, I'll take it from here. Just coming up to the end of the halftime break, and we still have more we want to talk about from that first half. But we're just seeing on the Australian bench, Jack Parry is being put into the purple kit of the goalkeeper. So some plans in motion potentially for Australia. They have the lead. It's good to see they're still thinking about what they're going to do in order to make sure they can bring this match home. And of course, Japan, lots of chat now. I've seen a whiteboard.
They heard me singing.
They did hear the singing. Yep. So that's on the internet.
Almost heaven.
That's on the internet now for everybody.
Oh no, there's karaoke of me. Well, I don't know if I was drunk when I was doing it. Probably.
If you don't know, that means you probably were.
You probably were.
But on the bright side, at least it means you had good singing, according to chat.
Nonetheless,
I think we were singing Backstreet Boys.
Japan, I can now see the whiteboard is out, so they are hatching a plan to try and get back into this match. They had 20 minutes to salvage their hopes in this tournament.
It doesn't appear that they, just from what we can see up here, that they are making any substitutions.
I can see an armband changing around, though. There's an armband being placed onto, I believe, Kazuto Hiranishi.
Well, Mikami's still got his armband on, so it'll be interesting whether that's a change they're going to go with from the offset.
And here are the cheers from the crowd. We're just starting to go back on the field. It's the same four for Australia. Ollie Davis on the near side. Evans in the middle. Giovanni out wide. And Luke David, the goalkeeper.
I will say, chat, I am not currently taking song requests.
Partly due to copyright law, I feel like that's a bad idea.
Yeah,
well, no, you got to put your own artistic flair on it. So
I see. You know what? That's not wrong.
And now we do have a change.
We are.
And Yuki Mikami has come off, and it will be Kazuto Hiranishi. Can he be the hero man for Japan? Getting a little tap from his teammates.
Any other substitutions coming on here?
No, that is the four on the floor now for Japan. And Uchihashi, Ota, Ikeda, and Hiranishi. And we're underway in the second half of the final. Evans playing with Leolio Davis. Evans tries to go upfield. Ota now guarded by Giovanni. The Japanese fans now in full flight. They know how important momentum is early, as this battle is just a slow burn, taking time off the clock. Exactly what Australia need.
Yeah, I tell you what, despite the scoreline being in Australia's favour, it is a very, very nervous scoreline to be at because, as we know, Japan have strike power all across the park and even on the bench. So they won't be. Australia won't be trying to do anything silly here, as we see Giovanni trying to waste as much time as possible.
Yeah, it's definitely the instruction. Take the time off the clock if the ball's at that end of the park. Doesn't matter if it's going in the net or not, just so long as it's not near our end. And Ota finally breaking free, and Giovanni needs to be careful with that back wheel. And now Evans takes over on halfway.
I hope it's just not a one-on-one fest.
Well,
as Australia's trying to slow it down for this
half. You need to keep your eyes up, though, as the ball finally goes out of play. But Ota's taking it almost half of the way out the pitch just by himself. And that's the sort of effort you're going to need to get this goal back. Midori Uchihashi tries to go direct in the Ollie Davis. He didn't have the best angle to see. He could have left it, but no risks from him.
I think she'll be happy with that ball because it's gone out in a much better position for the Japanese on the sideline here.
Luke David sitting very high in the box, tempting fate behind him. And Uchihashi trying to go through the Ollie Davis and arrange for another throw-in.
The Japanese will be happy to try and generate some pressure here through these set pieces, which they have been oh so deadly at throughout the tournament.
Nobody moving at all on the pitch. Everyone's happy with their positions. All 4 Australian players back. Uchihashi straight at Luke David, and a whistle for a 2-on-1. And it will be a Japanese ball, and that formation just too condensed.
Yeah, Beck Evans and Dimitri Leolio Davis there. Probably just a little bit of, not necessarily inexperience, but it is the first time that Leolio Davis has been playing in the box there, and he did jump off the line.
Yeah, I think English fans in the chat might recognise this setup. This might be a boom boom. It's not worked out in the end, and it may be a second chance effort, but it's gone away. Very nearly for Japan, but very nearly isn't enough when you're already down a goal. I can see Santo Bongiovanni getting some discussions from Mike Suffield on the bench. David. Evans swing and a miss, and that's a costly turnover.
Yeah, I must say, Australia looked a little panicked starting this half. They don't really need to be. I mean, they're in the box seat currently. I'm not sure it's exactly time to, as we've seen already to start this half, to be time wasting.
Yeah, 20 minutes of time wasting whilst it is legal. It's risky. You want to keep that momentum going. It's David, eyes up. And it's just going to go away.
Sorry to almost cut you off there, Tom. It does show that the Aussies do have a lot of respect for the skill set of the Japanese when they're, willing to waste as much time as possible, not letting the Japanese get any kind of quality up front with that ball.
Australia had their second. It's an own goal from Japan. But now the lead is 2 with just over 15 minutes left.
That is an absolutely beautiful ball from Santo Bongiovanni there to find the gap.
The second goal for Australia is down to
And I have to think, ever since coming on, Santo Bongiovanni, we'll talk about those subs in a moment, Santo Bongiovanni, a man of the match performance in the final already. And we have had the sub, and it is Mari Nagaoka coming on at the back. And that means that Kazuki Ikeda has come off.
Japan are going to need a miracle now. 2-0 down,
but
15 to go.
You know what they say, 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in football.
Oh, that it is.
They usually say it when you go from 2 to 2-1. It's usually come off at that point. Evans taking all the time in the world here. Looking for the sideline. Leaves the ball behind, but rolls it out of play anyway. And Australia win another throw-in.
I say Santo Bongiovanni has been almost the MVP of this match so far, setting up both goals since coming on. I mean, Australia have looked absolutely deadly on those set pieces with him taking those. They are rockets, and they are accurate rockets, as we see number 21 for Japan putting the ball out. One will assume that Bongiovanni is going to come up and take this one.
No, it's going to still be Beck Evans, I think. We may even see a little, one person takes it, then another person decides to jump in, take another 15 seconds off the clock. Evans. Nagaoka jumping in to shut down Leolio Davis. And the ball running out of play, and it will be a Japanese throw-in this time. Australia does need to be careful though if they are going to be time wasting. They can't make it obvious. And the ball goes upfield. Evans looking for Bongiovanni. He's set up 2. Can he score one himself? It's now Hiranishi. Spins it around, and Ikeda, I apologise, Ikeda is still on the field. He couldn't quite get to that one. He has moved onto the rim, and it's Midori Uchihashi who has come off, just to correct the record on that one. Evans. On Santo Bongiovanni to come closer, and now he has. And Ikeda shutting it down, and Bongiovanni, we know in Australia who can sometimes turn and get a bit blindsided, and that's what happened there. Hiranishi goes direct, and Olio Davis hoops it back out in. Now Bongiovanni steals the ball.
Ooh.
And there's a foul on the play. In fact, it's gone out of play. I've lost sight of the line there. And in fact, we are going to get the foul put back wheel from Santo Bongiovanni. But lads, I think you'll agree this has been a very exciting match, and Pittsburgh, of course, making great efforts to try and get power chair football to the Paralympics. And boy, oh boy, this grand final has been exactly the sort of spectacle they need. As Ota tries to go for goal himself and can't quite get there. And now Evans, Akeda just runs straight through, leaves the ball behind. But matches like this are going to show off all the things that we need in order to make sure that our sport gets to be on the list here in 2032, possibly playing within these very walls here at Nissan Arena.
Who needs a formal application when you can show them this game?
Exactly. I must say, sorry to cut you off, the first 10 or so minutes has absolutely flown by here in this second half. Good Lord, we've only got 11 and a half to go.
Yeah, Kazucha Hiradishi, I think we might be starting to panic there. He tries to put as much power into it as possible, and all he can do is roll it down the line.
And so, I must say, the scoreline stays as it is. Santo Bongiovanni will be getting a hero's welcome as he comes off the pitch.
Oh, that's an error, though. It's off the back of the Olio Davis, and Luke David shut him down, but you do not want errors like that creeping in.
There's no one in the box here other than Luke David for Australia. Living dangerously here.
Hiranishi trying to play it out. It's off of his chair. It's going to be a goal kick. In fact, though, the referees have decided corner. The referees have awarded a corner. They have seen better than I have. And I'm very happy to defer judgment to them. They are much closer than we are up here. And yes, to confirm, Nissan Arena, 7 courts upstairs, plus the show court we're on now. As Japan scores!
Oh.
And there's the comeback. Has it started? It's Kasuki Akeda from the corner, finding the ball into the post at the far side. 2-1. Game on with 10 minutes to go.
That was an absolute bullet of a set piece there from Japan. The substitution coming in clutch.
An almost identical goal to the one seen at the start of this game from Dimitri Leolio Davis. And as we said earlier in this game, 2-0, the most dangerous lead in football.
Now we're at 2-1.
Yeah, we're at 2-1, and now the game breaks open. Leolio Bongiovanni.
2-on-2 there.
Yeah,
interesting to see which way that's going to go.
It's Australia's ball this time. And yes, just when we play at local league, we play on the upstairs courts, but then when we come for nationals, and of course this tournament, we're downstairs on the centre court. Evans. It's Bongiovanni, who is just trapped in traffic. Akeda, the goal scorer. Now Ota. There's a lot of spin on that ball.
Past couple of minutes here, I've seen a bit of a formation change for the Australians. Luke David is sitting a lot deeper than he normally would be here. It looks like they're going to try and protect their lead as best they can, not doing anything silly to try and push for a third goal.
Cater with a great pass, and that's gone upfield, and Evans has to shut it down. Yeah, it looks like Olio Davis playing a more central role as that ball rolling into the box. Needs to be no risk here from Australia. Hiranishi all the way out wide, the Japanese goalkeeper in the corner of the pitch. They're throwing everything at it, and chance opens up, and it's a great stop by the defence. Bongiovanni trying to get it past Ota. 8 minutes 15 on the clock, and the whistle is blown. It's on the back wheel, and it's going to be Australia's ball for contact.
Yeah, the game has kind of descended into a bit of a
scramble.
Yeah, a bit of a scramble. Both teams have definitely lost their shape, especially defensively.
The panic comes
that
in.
is a beautiful touch there from Santo Bongiovanni.
And we're going to go back for the 2-on-1 violation. You could hear from the bench there was calls for it. And when the advantage didn't play out, Australia get the free kick. 7.5 to go. Asia Pacific Oceania Cup on the line.
You can see Mike Suffield here barking orders from the touchline, making sure his players are exactly where he wants them. As we see the ball sprinkle out for a goal kick.
Evans tempting fate, letting it roll. I thought it may have gone towards the sideline, but the ball steers itself back towards the byline.
Talk of complacency in the chat, and that's one of the things that Australia need to focus on most to make sure they can hold out for the next 7 or so minutes.
David
upfield,
beautiful goal kick.
One end of the pitch to the other, and that's the best way to defend the lead, is have the ball as far away from the net as possible.
Comment in the chat, no, penalties would not be cinema. Please don't take us to penalties.
Well, we've got about 6.5 minutes to find out whether extra time looms.
Evans, Ota intercepting that pass. It was intended to go to Bongiovanni. Ota, Hiranishi.
That's open.
That was a big chance blown.
And a miss hit, almost distracting Luke David to go in.
I tell you what, if he connected with that ball and managed to get it away to the far post, there was only Luke David and he was covering that near post. I dare say that could have been our equaliser.
And it could have been, but as we said before, maybe it isn't good enough. You need to put it away. It's David Hiranishi thinks about it and backs out of it. Goal kick for Japan once more, but Australia needs to hold the ball up in midfield. They can't allow Japan to get through. Otherwise, this game will be 2-2. Hiranishi, Elio Davis intercepting. Out wide. Ikeda spins off of David. Now the Elio Davis plays it forward. It's off the keeper.
Very well done by the Elio Davis.
And a high sideline for Australia.
Interesting that Bongiovanni's not coming in to take this.
No, he's happy just to lurk on the far side. Back pass for Evans.
Doesn't do very well there, to be completely honest.
David. Hiranishi. Now Evans spinning, and that's gone too far, but it's a throw in for Japan. And they need to be careful, Australia. They cannot let balls go towards the Japanese goalkeeper. When he's in open position, we've seen the damage that the Japanese players have, especially their goalkeepers. They can hoof a ball upfield with pace. Ikeda. Ota upfield. Evans. And Ota taps it out in Australia. In fact, I think it took a touch off Bongiovanni on the way out, so Japan will get the throw. 4.5 to go.
So the tension down there is palpable. You can feel it from the comms box.
But David has to make a stop.
Almost
You're right.
Almost a 2-on-1 there.
David and Ikeda. David now playing the winger as the goalkeeper. Ikeda takes the chance. It's going to go wide. Goal kick for Australia.
We spoke about it at the start of the second half, the introduction of Jack Parry into that pink shirt, but you know the intensity of this game has kept him sat on that bench with the trustworthiness of Luke David. You can see why.
Now that ball upfield and away, and Japan will hit the throw. 3 minutes 40. Time ticking away for Japan as the sun begins setting here in Brisbane. Is the sun setting on their tournament hopes? Ikeda, Hiranishi. They will battle with Evans. Flicked away. Ikeda running in, upfield. David. And the ball peeling around, and a 2-on-1 violation as David left the box, and this is a big chance for Japan. 3 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock. Can they make this count?
They're going to have to if they're going to hope to get anything out of this game as we approach the final 3 minutes.
We're going to see a late minute boom boom.
Not sure what's going on here. They're going to need to be really careful of 2-on-1.
We're going to see a boom boom. And Matt, this looks like a formation that you've run a lot with Hills United. The boom boom goes the wrong way, and it will be the Australian throw in. They attempted the Australian and it didn't pay out.
Sorry, what were you saying there, Tom?
Oh, the defence were central in the box, which is something that you like to run at Hills United.
Yeah, we do like to run that. I feel like gives you a much better opportunity to cover either post.
And now Ota beats out Evans. And now all the way up to the final third, to the byline.
Only Luke David in the box here for Australia.
Risky business for
Australia.
Australia.
Three in the box.
Advantage being played.
They're going to call it back.
Oh dear. Australia starting to feel the pressure.
That's a very big blunder there. Both
Dimitri Leolio-Davis and Beck Evans rushing in there.
They need to calm down, otherwise this is going to slip through their fingers.
Australia are looking to go to their bench here, as we see Ryan Sack lining up to come on the field at some point.
Japan needs to take this simple. They can't blow this.
I think they're going for the boom boom here.
Oh,
we saw how that went last time. They better hope it works better this time.
Boom boom attempted to wide. Very nearly. Inside the final 2 minutes, maybe a minute 10 left. Is that the game? Is that the championship?
Yep, we're seeing Ryan Sack come on here.
And a good sub for Australia, I think. Takes another 15 seconds off, and Bon
The
Giovanni.
bobblehead's coming off.
Has he put up a man of the match performance?
He's getting a well-deserved rest, in my opinion. Setting up both those goals beautifully. The first one putting on a platter for Dimitri Leolio-Davis at the far post. The second one...
And again, Australia under pressure. It's another goal kick. Japan trying everything.
Australia really just need to slow it down here. We're going to approaching the final 30 seconds here, at least by our clock. Obviously, there will be a little bit of time added on for stoppages by the referee.
David, Ryan Sack, Ota shooting, it's wide. It'll be another goal kick, which we may only have time for not much more than that. This one just needs to be away from the Japanese players.
We've hit 40 minutes.
No risks here. David, Sack, Ota can't get the shot away. How much time do we have left? I don't think there's much. That's it.
That's it.
Australia, Asia Pacific Oceania Cup champions. Big hugs on the bench for the coaching panel.
Yep, that's their first. That'll be Robbie's first international tournament victory. They'll be absolutely loving this, as will the players.
And it's Santo Bongiovanni, the hero for Australia, with that just absolute dynamic change with the substitution. An amazing final. I saw calls for third time's the charm in the chat, and right that is. What a game, fellas.
That indeed, and the final has delivered. We didn't see goals in the first two fixtures. We've got them this afternoon, and weren't they spectacular? Oh boy, what a tournament. Just reflecting on the tournament as a whole, fellas. Hasn't it been special?
Very much so. And must I say, not just for this game, but throughout the tournament, the referees have been absolutely outstanding. In this tournament, in this game in particular, can't really say they put a foot wrong. Everybody makes mistakes. There's been a couple throughout the tournament, but they've owned up to them and have been absolutely fantastic otherwise.
It's really been a 5-star performance from our referees, and we thank each of them very much. They have put on possibly the best refereeing performance we've seen around the world, and when we talk about how good the rest we have are in Australia, I think this week with most of the team from Australia has really proven that. But I want to take a moment to thank everybody involved in this tournament. Queensland Power Chair Football Association have put up a lot of work. I know that Dane Saunders, the president, has really broken his back this week, and it's been magical to see it happen. And I thank Dane very much and the rest of the organising committee, myself included. I should probably take some credit here. I want to thank as well Matthew, Jackson. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you up here this week. Thank you so much for calling what may have well been one of the best power chair football tournaments in the world.
Thank you for letting us be here. Honestly, I think, this is my first time, calling an international game, and I think I've loved it so much. I've learned so much, and to be able to join all of you in chat and all of us here in Nissan Arena for these wonderful games, including this final, it's been absolutely amazing these past few days.
And just before Matthew answers that, talks about that, I just want to say Japan, unlucky to not be the victors today. They played a great tournament and they're getting the support from their fans. They put up an excellent performance. Sadly, they're about $1 late, $1 short and a day late. They don't get to have the trophy this time. Australia retaining the Asia Pacific Oceania Cup, and they will really look to build on this ahead of the FIFA Power Chair Football World Cup in Argentina next year. For both these teams, that is the next assignment, looking towards success on the world stage. And of course, viewers on the FIFA YouTube page, this isn't the last qualification tournament. We're still yet to see the teams from the Americas zone. That tournament, I believe, being held next month. Stay tuned for details relating to the broadcast for that. But it has been an absolute pleasure. We're going to have the trophy presentation pretty soon, and I believe we're going to keep rolling so you guys can see the trophy being awarded to the Australian team. But I think we'll just run through one last time the 8 Australian players and the coaching staff as well that have made this happen. Number 2, Tristan Peters. Number 3, Rebecca Evans. Number 4, Santo Bongiovanni. Number 5, the captain, Dimitri Leolio Davis. Number 9, Ryan Seck. Number 10, Jack Parry. Number 14, Chris Astus. Number 23, Luke David. And as well the coaching staff, Robbie Wright, Cameron Waite-Smith, Michael Suffield, Skip Bolton, and of course Josh Merkus, who announced his retirement not long before this tournament, and he gets to be part of a very special victory, even if he's not on the court.
I'd also like to give a shout out to Chris Suffield, who, while not listed amongst the coaching staff, he has been integral to the Australian camp this week, acting as a bit of a player manager of sorts, making sure everybody is
and here is the trophy
up for the games.
Here is the trophy presentation. I imagine in one of these photos will be a thumbs up. Josh Merkus, of course, every photo he takes, he tries to put his thumbs up, and it's a big thing that this team has been part of, and credit to the Australian Power Chair Football Association as well to get this team where they are. And they are going to use this and build this momentum towards the FIFA Power Chair Football World Cup. It has been a truly special tournament, and I think they deserve all the credit they're going to get off the back of this victory. Big thank you as well to everyone who has joined us on the official FIFA YouTube page. We've enjoyed reading through your comments, answering your questions. And without you guys, I don't think the broadcast wouldn't have been half as special as it has been this week. It has been probably one of the highest honours in certainly my broadcasting career, as limited as it has been, to be on this journey. And this match has truly been something special. I think that's a feeling shared for both of you up here.
Yeah, this has definitely been one of the highlights of my career in commentary so far, and I hope that I can continue to commentate all these big games with you boys, because this has been such a fun couple of days.
Well, perhaps, Jax, this may have been both your and our auditions to possibly on the plane to be Argentina and ourselves.
Well, if the people who have that power are listening, hello, we are interested.
Ryan Sipple mentioned it in chat.
Yeah, hi Ryan.
Hi Ryan. Not quite the Ryan that we normally say hi Ryan to, but nonetheless, it's been an honour to have everyone in the chat this week, and we'll just wait and see the end of this trophy presentation. But the Australian side too good in the final.
Do we know who the guy in the suit is? They're asking in the chat.
I don't have that information in hands, unfortunately. Apologies for that one, viewers. We wish we had that information, but not everything makes it up to the broadcast booth. Although something that did make it up, Beck's dad sent us a care package, which we received earlier today, and we are incredibly grateful to have received that. It was a touching card that you wrote to us, and it really does. We are grateful to know that we've put up a very entertaining broadcast for everyone, and we know how important it is to make sure that those who can't quite get to the venue are still able to enjoy our sport. It's a great way of including those who can't quite get out of, get here to Brisbane to the venue, or maybe aren't particularly healthy enough to get out of home very often. As we see now the Japanese being added for some photos with the Australian side. And I think they should hold their head up high. Even though they aren't the winners today, they put up a spectacular performance throughout the week. Only conceded the 2 goals throughout the tournament, those 2 in the final.
But also, I don't know if we've done it already, but I'd like to give a massive shout out to all of our lovely spectators in the stands.
We've had a very big crowd throughout the week. We had a futsal carnival here, the opening 2 days of the tournament, and made for some very big crowds. I'll say a shout out as well. Our classifiers are starting to make their way onto the pitch as well. They put up a big stint earlier to set in preparation for this tournament, letting all the players classify. It's a very tough ask, and sometimes their job can be a bit thankless, and we want to make sure that they are very much appreciated. And I want to give a shout out as well to our truly incredible venue, Nissan Arena. We at the Queensland Parachair Football Association very much appreciate this venue. It is truly world class, and you can book many of these courts here for social sports if you are in Brisbane. And certainly it is a top-notch venue, and we can't rate it highly enough. But I think we are approaching our final curtain call, as we see a big round of applause from the players down there. I think that might be all we have. Do we have any final comments before we sign off for this week, gentlemen?
Oh, firstly, just thank you, Tom, for letting me and Matt, be involved in this commentary thing as the Australian voice of parachair football. I think it's, just an honour for us to be here, me at least. I don't know about Matt, he might not agree with me, but
I've been to this stage before. You've unfortunately caught me with a mouthful of red frogs, so we'll have to try and...
I think it's all well enough, but certainly, and I think we should say one last thank you to the parties that helped make this happen. Of course, Queensland Parachair Football Association, the hosts of this tournament, but FIPFA with big support, APO for helping out as well. Power Soccer Shop, suppliers of the Strike Force wheelchair, and certainly that's been a great advertisement for them this week. And of course, All Sport, the apparel provider, big thanks to them as well. And Devange Group, Queensland tournament partner, they came in clutch for us, and a very big partner here in Queensland, and we thank them a lot as well. But on behalf of my colleagues Jackson Taylor and Matthew Mallows, my name is Tom Byrne. Thank you so much for joining us throughout this week. This has been a truly incredible tournament, and we hope to see the viewers watching both the America's qualifier and tournament in a month's time, and of course the FIPFA 2026 Parachair Football World Cup in Argentina. But this will be it. Bye for now from Nissan Arena, and we hope to catch you in the future. But until then, farewell.